It's Geth in Venice.
And a daredevil performance from Russia's last human cannonball.
How you doing? All that still to come, plus some animals with a bit of a difference.
But first, come with me and venture over to this side of the Blue Peter Garden, because I would like you to meet the great Moscow State Circus's Andrei Anichkin. Now, the Blue Peter Garden is about to witness the most spectacular feat it has ever seen in its lifetime. This here is only Russia's last human cannonball. We are honoured to have you here. We are going to fire him out of this rocket over the sky, over the Blue Peter Garden. It's scary stuff, but you seem very calm. How do you feel, Andre?
A little bit nervous.
A little bit nervous, but just a little bit. I could see you were sort of limbering up there and doing stretches. What does one do in preparation for being fired out of a rocket?
Same practice like an astronaut.
What, an astronaut? Oh, so you have to learn to cope with G-force and all of that? Yeah? Yeah. Wow, that's good going. Well, Andre is going to be fired at 40 miles per hour. That is scary stuff. Do not try that at home. He seems remarkably calm. What do you reckon, guys?
40 miles an hour? Can't wait to see that. Now, one of the things we love most on Blue Peter is the chance to travel and explore. My latest destination was Venice, in Italy. There's no doubt that Venice is one of the most painted, most photographed, most filmed and most written about places since time began.
A traveller once wrote, "So much has been said about this city that there's little left to say." But that was back in 1494.
When one American journalist first arrived here, he immediately contacted the newspaper he worked for to say,
"Streets filled with water. Please advise."
that's because Venice is the city on the water.
There are no roads and no cars. Apart from walking, the only other way of getting about is on the canal.
Everything about the daily life of the Venetians, from rubbish collections to shopping, depends on boats. It's one reason why it's an expensive place to live.
Most people use these water buses or vaporettos to get about the place. They never get stuck in traffic, and the only time they're late is when it's foggy. As well as being reliable, they're also cheap. The famous gondolas are so expensive that usually it's only the tourists that will splash out to take a trip on them.
Paolo, a gondolier for 15 years, agreed to give me a lesson.
How long does it take you to learn?
Longer than drive a Boeing. 1 year.
How do you steer a gondola?
This is an art. Left leg, the line with the forcola. The piece of wood here is named the forcola.
The forcola.
Right foot back. The gondoliers don't push with the arms, but with our weight.
Right.
I move my weight from the back to the forward leg. You want to try?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take my hat off.
We change our position.
Right.
Your knees, your knees. You need
Right.
to tuck on your knees if there are waves. Not like that, but tuck, tuck.
I can't believe how off balance I am.
Better. You fall in the water. Vieni qua, good. On the carpet, not there. If you are falling in the water, no hang on the forcola. Otherwise, the gondola flips over. A summary. Left
Yeah.
foot. 1, 2. 1,
2.
2. 1.
You have to take like a license, you know, like a driving license.
It's
Do you have to
we-
take like a license to do this?
Mate, we need to pass a driving test. You want to try once more?
Yeah, I do, I do.
Here and here. 1. 1.
I'm going to the left now, though.
Che volta. Rubbish. I have a little job for you, don't worry, guys.
Come on,
but not
please.
a gondolier.
Come back.
See you. Ciao.
As they say here, if you're not on the water, you're walking, and it's very easy to get lost in the maze of calais or alleyways. There are 2,327 of them altogether, covering 91 miles. So a map is a good investment.
Excuse me, do you know where that is there? From time to time, the alleyways lead into squares or open spaces, and I was looking for the grandest of them all.
St Mark's Square. Napoleon called it the finest drawing room in Europe. And walking across it today, I can easily see why.
St Mark's Square is the heart of the city, and it swarms with tourists all year round. Nearby is the Doge, or ruler of Venice's, palace, and the great domes of St Mark's Cathedral. But I was heading for the Campanile, or bell tower. There's been a tower here for centuries. From the top of the tower, the astronomer Galileo demonstrated his brand new invention, the telescope, to all the most important people in Venice.
At 99 metres, it's the tallest building in the city. But though it looks ancient, this Campanile has only been here for just over 100 years.
That's because the foundations of the original had started to weaken and crumble, until at 5 to 10 in the morning of July the 14th, 1902, there was a rumbling sound which grew into an enormous roar. Then, in a huge cloud, the immense tower collapsed into St Mark's Square. Incredibly, no one was hurt. The only casualty was the caretaker's cat. Everyone was horrified at the fall of the Campanile. It was one of the most famous buildings in Italy.
The people immediately decided it should be rebuilt. Com'era, dov'era, as it was and where it was.
The new tower was built with modern, lighter materials and stronger foundations. At last, nearly 10 years after its collapse, the new Campanile was ready, and thousands of pigeons were released from St Mark's Square to carry the news far and wide.
Today, the pigeons are a pest. There have been attempts to control them and ban the selling of birdseed because many of the pigeons carry disease. But nothing seems to stop them. Get off. Ugh. Those pigeons really smell. They were horrible, I'm telling you now.
Mate.
And you can see more from Venice a little bit later on in the show when I visit the island of the dead.
Here at Blue Peter, we love to have animals in the studio, and when we heard of an exhibition with a difference, we jumped at the chance to invite them in. But these animals aren't the usual type we have on. Oh no, as you may have noticed, they're not moving, Andy.
They're not. These have been preserved by a method called taxidermy, which was made famous by the Victorians. Now, the word taxidermy comes from two ancient Greek words, taxis, meaning movement, and derma, meaning skin.
Taxidermy has been around for thousands of years. The first taxidermists were cavemen who collected the animal skins for practical uses in the home and as clothing.
In the 1800s, hunters began taking their trophies to upholstery shops. Here, they would sew up the animal skins and stuff them with rags, cotton, or even straw, so the hunters could keep them as a souvenir, which is where the animals we are surrounded by today come from.
Now, in the early 20th century, artists developed models which showed every single detail. The animals' muscles and expressions were displayed to make the animals look lifelike, and they often mounted them in more realistic settings for the species, like this fox.
Now, on this bear, the eyes are made of glass and the mouth is made from a modelling clay. Now, the mannequin body itself is made from a special material called polyurethane foam. What a mouthful.
Now, the biggest and most expensive animal mounted is this African elephant. It cost over £40,000 to make. Now, even famous animals have been preserved too. The dog who played Toto alongside Judy Garland in the film Wizard of Oz was mounted and sold at auction for £2,300.
Oh my goodness, expensive stuff. Now, some rich people wanted exotic taxidermy animals, decorating their houses as a sign of their wealth. But unfortunately, this only encouraged poachers to kill animals instead of using those which had died from natural causes.
Taxidermy is still practiced today, but only from roadkill. There are also artists like Polly Morgan who loves wildlife and transforms dead animals into beautiful art like this.
Now, if you would like to see more of these amazing animals, you can visit the Life in Death exhibition at the Booth Museum in Brighton. Entry is free until June 2008, and all details are on the website.
Very, very creepy. I tell you what, I don't think our animals are ready to be stuffed quite
no,
yet.
not at all.
I'm joking. Now then, it's time for my next instalment for my trip to Venice.
Every year, Venice holds a 10-day carnival, and the image of the carnival is summed up by these masks. Wearing a Venetian mask, and there's a huge variety of them, brings glamour, mystery and fun to parties, balls and big occasions. In fact, they've been popular here for hundreds of years. All over the city, there are shops specialising in making these minor works of art. I met expert mask maker Rita Gargio. Hello Rita, how are you?
Hi.
Busy at work, I can see.
Yes, it is.
I've seen a lot of mask shops since being in Venice. Why do Venetian people like masks so much?
Because they are so romantic, because of the party they used to go to, and because behind the mask you can hide yourself and be something else.
How long do they take to make?
Oh, you can make a mask in half an hour and you can make a mask in 4 hours. Why don't you have a go?
Okay, I'd love to, thanks.
Venice has always been a crowded place, but today, because of high prices and the pressure of tourism, fewer and fewer real Venetians can afford to live in their own city.
The pressure on space here is so great that Venice has San Michele, its own funeral island, where its citizens make their final journey. But they don't stay here for very long. Sheer numbers mean that unless you're very famous, after 10 years, your body is dug up and cremated to make room for a new occupant. It's not just the dead who are on borrowed time. Venice itself faces huge challenges if it's going to survive.
Ever since the first wooden stakes were driven into the mud to form the foundations of the city, Venice has been at war with the water on which it rests. Many of the foundations are ancient and soft, and the pressure of the weight they carry, of pollution and substance caused by the pumping out of water for use by industry, all mean that parts of the city are slowly but surely sinking.
Global warming hasn't helped. Some scientists believe that the water level here will rise between 38 and 55 centimetres by the end of this century. That could mean disaster.
Flooding is already a regular hazard, and there are loads of arguments about how to stop this great city sinking back into the sea. There are some schemes and lots of ideas for new ones, most of them extremely expensive. But Venetians know that unless something is done, their wonderful home will not survive.
I really hope the scientists and planners succeed. Venice is a very special place, and it's tragic to think that future generations might not get the chance to experience its magic.
On tomorrow's show, Geoff and I battle it out hovercraft racing. Who is gonna win? Thrust on my faces! Oh no!
I've come to South Lanarkshire and currently I'm outside the French lesson of Sarah Williams. Now, she wrote us a really cool email. It's really long. There's a poem in there. She told us about a sponsored silence she's organising and all about her camping trip. I think that she deserves one of these.
Bonjour, la classe.
I'm looking for Sarah Williams. Where is she? Hey, Sarah. We really like the letter that you sent us. That was a great look of shock from your classmates, by the way. And we think it's really cool, the sponsored silence you organised, your poem, all about your camping trip. So we are rewarding you with this Blue Peter badge. Well done.
Make sure you check out the latest video blogs on the website. The address, as usual, is bbc.co.uk/CBBC. This week, Connie and Zoe hit the shops.
Hi guys, welcome to Connie and I's joint video blog.
Yes, as you may or may not know, we are about to go on a summer trip, but we don't have any of the right clothes, so we are going shopping.
Isn't that nice?
Cute, look at that.
A few of you have actually suggested some places where we should visit for a summer trip. Like Josie, you said about going to Egypt to visit the pyramids. Great idea, I loved it. And also Deborah, you said about going to Cuba. Also an excellent idea, but guess what? It's not where we're going, no.
No, it's all in this book. But we thought maybe you could guess where we're going by watching our video blog.
Yeah, so watch it and find out more.
I'm not sure about that shirt and definitely not sure about the trousers. What about you?
I do not like any of those
No,
things.
you got that wrong.
You guys are so hard to please.
Well, you know.
About our style, you know?
Perfect, yeah.
Anyway, find out which country we will be visiting for our summer expedition on tomorrow's show.
Excited about that.
Can't wait.
Connie, how are the preparations going?
Going good, Zoe, going good. Let me recap the story so far. The great Moscow State Circus's Andrei Anichkin is about to be fired like a human rocket out of this thing into the sky over the Blue Peter Garden. So I'm just trying this cannon out for comfort, and I can tell you it's not very comfortable at all. I'm getting out of here. But in the meantime, did you know the human cannonball has been around for the last 140 years? The first human cannonballs were fired from rockets back in the 1870s. But it wasn't until the 1920s that the first air-powered cannon was developed, the type that's in use today. The Zucchini family were the experts and took America by storm with their daring and showmanship. The human cannonball is highly dangerous. There have been a total of 22 deaths since the stunt began, normally due to human error on landing. Not surprisingly, there are few people in the world highly skilled enough to perform the stunt you're about to see. However, Andrei is one of them. So, Andrei, it's time for you to step inside the barrel. Andrei is now being elevated to the angle of incline, preparing himself in the mental zone, ready to be fired like a human rocket in the sky. He's nearly at the summit. I cannot stress highly enough how dangerous this is. Do not, whatever you do, try this at home. We wish you the best of luck, Andrei. It's time to get inside. Are you ready, Andrei?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
That's unbelievable!
That is incredible! Wow! Andrei! Oh my goodness! Mount! That was amazing! Privat. That's Russian for high five. We are so impressed. That is amazing. Look at, oh my gosh, you're all scuffed up. Did that go well for you?
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. Would you like to see it again?
Yes.
Yeah. Quickly. Oh, wow. You're like a superhero.
Oh, that's awesome. Fly through the air.
And do you always do that 180-degree turn?
Yes.
Yes, it's a lovely move. That is... Oh, I can hear that we've actually got another angle. Would you like to see that?
Show us more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here he comes.
Oh, such skill.
Wow.
Oh, what goes through your minds at the time? It's amazing. Is it fun?
Yes.
You enjoy it? What's the feeling?
It's wow.
Wow!
We know that feeling.
Excellent. Well, it's a very hard stunt to outdo. What will you be performing next?
Wheel of Death.
Wheel of Death.
That sounds bad. I don't know what it is, but it sounds bad.
Dangerous.
Well, if you would like to see the great Moscow State Circus performing, you can do so. All the details are on our website, and they are performing throughout the UK till October.
And join us tomorrow where we'll be thrown around by some judo champions.
Ah, what are you doing? Jake will be here as well to make some lemon cake. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Edward from Hemel Hempstead sent us a picture of a horse he made out of clay. Great work, Edward. A Blue Peter badge is on its way.